Hey everybody, it's Brian Cronin with AppioMedia.com, and today I'm here with Craig Capurso, co-founder of Metron, a fitness platform based out of Silicon Valley, Sean Barber, owner of Olympus Athletic Club here in Murfreesboro, and Charles Rucker, regional manager and concrete athlete. And we're going to get into this. So, Sean, you've been pretty busy. Just put on a successful fitness show with the Flex Lewis Classic and hit the Classic Physique stage recently. How'd it go?
Well, it went good. Starting with the Flex Lewis Classic, it's a big show. We do that every year, 6 consecutive year now. Moved it to the Opryland, so it was a huge undertaking for me. A lot of moving parts when it comes to that, so we really had a task on our hands this year, but it was very successful. We have a lot of support. Our sponsors were amazing. It's a growing show, and we're just really wanting to see this show take it to the next level and show pretty much the expo grow into the show. So that expo is just going to grow larger and larger every single year, and you'll see that Flexpo continuing to get bigger and bigger as the years go on. Competitively myself, I'm from bodybuilding. 2006 is when I started bodybuilding. Of course, nothing else existed at the time. You didn't have even bikini or men's physique at the time. So me transitioning to classic physique this year, because I knew I was never going to be one of those mass monsters, went ahead and moved to the classic physique division. Didn't quite bring in the look that I wanted to. I need to be a little sharper. I misjudged it. I brought in the look that I intended on bringing in, but not what they wanted to see. I was one of the first national level shows, so more or less was the test dummy. So gonna come in, God willing, and bring in a better package this next year. But I feel good about it all in all.
Very cool. And Craig, you've been a Wall Street oil trader. You compete as an IFBB. I'll start that over. Craig, you were a Wall Street oil trader, competing in an IFBB and representing a few sports nutrition brands, and now co-founded a startup. How does it happen? How do you make it work?
One step at a time. I always talk to a lot of people about, your big goals and aspirations. So you dream, you have a goal, you have an aspiration, but how do you make it work? You got to come up with a goal, a plan, a step, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we got into co-founding Metron, giving people the really secret sauce, the missing ingredients in life. Basically, how do you go from point A to point B? And so in that whole process is more or less about, hey, I have this goal. I'm also a Wall Street oil trader. What am I going to do in my daily routine? 9 to 5, what am I doing? And then what am I going to do before work? What am I doing after work? You got to break down your goals into basically small little steps and processes. Periodize what you want to do with your day.
Cool. Well, now that we've kind of broke the ice, let's kind of get into the reason we're here, and it's to talk about this partnership between Olympus and Metron. And Sean, I'm going to go ahead and kind of let you lead off and tell us, why did you agree to the partnership and kind of what does it look like?
Well, it was really a no-brainer once I heard what Metron was about. I mean, it was incredible, and it's exactly what fitness needed to move to. There's so many appealing aspects to Metron and the structure and the way that they've set it up. And I think the biggest one is it is appealing to everybody. Absolutely everybody. It's easy, it's functional, anybody can afford it, which is a huge thing when it comes to fitness, personal training, because fitness can be expensive across the board, from diet to memberships to personal training. So it was extremely, the structure and the way that he had set it up with Metron, it being online, it being based online, you've been able to do it from your computer or from your smartphone, and the personal training aspect of it, having that trainer with you on the floor at all times without paying these crazy costs for a personal trainer. Not saying that having a personal trainer is not worth it, but this is a fraction of the cost. And you still have that knowledge right there at your fingertips, and when you're and at your convenience, which is even better. So when he came to me, and Craig came to me, and he pitched what Metron was about and how it worked and how easy it was going to be to get people the knowledge that they needed, and also the availability of it inside the facility through just practically a Wi-Fi and their phone and or their tablet, computer, whatever, it was just a no-brainer. And I'm going to let Craig touch a little bit more on exactly how Metron works and how the personal training aspect of it works. But again, it being so user-friendly and exactly what I want Olympus to offer its clientele, because it's just absolutely one of the best formats I've ever seen when it comes to a personal training app.
Cool. Well, Craig, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Metron, what it is, and kind of why you chose Olympic Athletic Club. Craig, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about Metron, what it is, and kind of why you decided to partner with Olympus Athletic Club opposed to a typical fitness coach?
Sure thing. Well, let's take the first step. So what is Metron? So Metron's a fitness platform that personalizes. It's basically a personalized stimulus when you train. So I came from a background of offering information products in the past, ebooks and digital products, partnering with bodybuilding.com and other partners. What we do is we give presentations of basically a blanket platform that's going to say, okay, I'm going to go give you a personal training program. Here's a goal-specific program. Great. But what's most missing in most of these pieces is the specific stimulus, the secret sauce, and that's kind of what we've done is created something called AVP technology, adaptive variable personalization, which is actually going to give the user a chance to go into the gym with the platform, with the art of the coach. We provide the science, and so they go in there. They're going to train and they're going to get this goal-specific plan, but we start populating the weights and the sets as they're going into the program. The coach is going to basically generalize the program based on percentages and different variables that they want this trainer or the user to train at. But now it's up to the user to go ahead and update the app by going into the gym and seeing what they can do. So it's updating the performance the entire time. So if a user's getting stronger, we're floating that performance curve. So therefore, we're actually improving every time they redo a bench press with a barbell, for example. But most often when you see today, basically all the apps that you're going to see are going to say, okay, go to the gym, do 4 sets of 5 on this bench press, and that's it.
Right.
Okay, how do you progress? I don't know, maybe I'm going to add a little bit more to the weight each time. Well, there's no science in that. We provide the science, we provide the personalization based on you. And you are going to basically dictate your path. So it's going to help the very beginning user that has no strength in the gym yet, no know-how. We provide instructional videos, we provide nutritional content. There's a whole basically blanket that's going to go along with your purchase to our subscription. And better yet, you also have access to other programs. So you hit on why Olympus. I think Sean talked a little bit about meeting the clientele that we're offering or we're going after, specifically the people that don't want to pay the one-on-one rates. I can tell you right now, if you were to pay for my time in the gym, it's going to be $150 an hour. Who's going to be able to do that over the course of time? But for $150 a year, $12.50 a month, you can actually buy into our program for the year with a subscription, or you can pay monthly if you want. There's a couple different ways to go about it, but basically we're trying to fit that market that's saying, hey, you got to pay for a little bit. We want to see what you got to put a little skin in the game, but at the same point, let's make it affordable for you. Let's give you all the tools that we can from a technology standpoint, and we're going after the best coaches in the industry. Eventually, we're going to round up and have all the offerings for you. So, as well as besides this doesn't really go to the user, but we're a data company on the back end. So all the information that you guys are programming into our system, we're collecting that. So we're getting smart. In the end, we're going to data mine your results. And in the beginning, you could just sign up using a basic survey, and we're going to start dictating the weights for you, even prior to you signing up. So
very cool. Now, Charles, you authored the first program in this relationship, Active 30. Tell us a little bit about the program and why people should sign up.
Yeah, I created Active 30 basically for your average person that goes to the gym every day that needed something new as a new routine. I've been in the gym industry for 7 to 8 years. One thing I've noticed is people that sign up usually don't have the money to afford a personal trainer, and they're just kind of wandering around the gym. So usually they quit. So they'll quit within the first 2 months at the gym. So with the program, with the AVP technology, we actually created a program to where we can actually put it together and have them something that they will have on a daily basis.
One of the things that Charles and I talked about, and one thing he was really excited about prior to this conversation today was our baseline test, something that we both done from an athletic standpoint. As an ex-football player, both of us played ball.
Right.
You go into the gym doing a baseline test, or you go into your sports programming with a baseline test to try to assess where you're at, because everything should be based on you. Specific training, stimulus training, and same thing with a personal trainer. They're going to walk a trainer or a client, into the gym and say, okay, what can you do? Most of these programs just say, here's the program, go for it. But if you're not actually assessing them, giving them some kind of performance litmus test, Therefore,
Right.
what the heck are you going to do with it? You know what I mean?
The
I mean, this is one of the
Yeah.
things that he
Yeah.
said he
Where
liked
you
about it.
start. Right. Now, I've heard both of you guys kind of mention this AVP a couple times. Craig, can you kind of elaborate a little bit on what that is?
So AVP is our technology. It's patent pending at this point. We haven't been approved, but we do have a patent on it. So it's a adaptive variable personalization. So what that's going to do is the stimulus, the secret sauce. We have a running platform. One of our biggest coaches is a runner, Chris Henshaw. He does a lot of stuff in the aerobic capacity, CrossFit community. And so when he's running, the AVP technology is going to actually tell them based on 2 different distances. We're going to basically find out what your curve is. And the same thing with the strength curve. We're going to find out based on a couple points on that curve, what is your fatigue factor or what is your stimulus that we should be training at, and it's going to give you that specific distance. So if I want you to run a 400 meter, we're going to say what should your 400 meter pace be. If I want you to run a mile, what should you be running every 400 meters as you go through the track. So it's giving you those specifics that's saying, hey, I want to run, I don't even know, this is probably an hour time,